What's going on, everybody? It's your boy Spencer, taking a look at a couple of deck lists today, and I was checking out the Ib the World Chalice, whatever you say that name, Justiclar, I don't know, Justiciar. In any case, it came off the list, kind of under the radar, which makes sense. You do have to run like a brick with it, so is it really worth playing? It was kind of used for like link climbing back in the day and guard dragon stuff specifically, but all of those cards have been banned now. But ABC, like without the Cyberdark stuff, like kind of creates a pretty clean list overall. So it's kind of neat, and there's a lot of like really interesting things you can do. So I'll go through the card by card. I'll show a couple of combos, and then if you want to go check out the Cyberdark list, you can go do that too. 3 copies of Imperm, 3 copies of Ash, 3 copies of Effect Veiler. Nothing too crazy there. Just your standard 9-hand traps. The 1 copy of Therian King Regulus. Now, I have been playing the Adventure Engine. Adventure ABC had been a thing for a long time. And there's a lot of like really, really interesting combo lines that you can go through in the deck. And hopefully I'll be able to show that to you in the combos. 1 copy of Destrudo. I am playing Dragon's Ravine. 1 copy of Union Driver. The one true brick of the deck. Everything else is like kind of... There's always scenarios that you can kind of use them. Like... Ib the World Chalice. The big problems with this, you know, you want to bring out the monster from the deck, but it's deck or graveyard. So if you can pitch it off of something like Dragon's Ravine, like you're good to go, and your combo isn't really hurt at all. But Union Driver is the one that just horrible. Like it's so bad to see in your hand. 1 copy of Assault Core, 1 copy of B, 1 copy of C, and then the 1 copy of the Torque Tune. Torque Tune's not too bad if you draw it because you can just normal summon it and go backwards. So the whole like theory behind the deck when I started it was like, this is level 5, and the ABC engine is like the best way to make Ib, like, right? Like Union Hangar is a 1-card Ib, which is really important. Trying to keep the deck size pretty clean, but I mean, you could obviously just like run another copy of Water Enchantress. I actually don't think I also play the Equip spell just because there isn't a lot of space for it. I get that it's kind of free discard fodder, but again, like maybe you have Lee in your hand or just something else that you don't need, like Destrudo, or I guess if you drew the Union Driver, stuff like that. 3 copies of Revolution Synchron, so this helps you go into your Ancient Fairy Dragon. You have a lot of field spells in this deck, and you obviously have like quite a bit of access to them. Pot of Prosperity is one of those, but Terraforming, 3 copies of the thing itself. Therian Coliseum, 3 copies of Ravine. So you have a very good chance of opening that field spell. So if you have any level 4, and the Revolution Synchron can just immediately go into Ancient Fairy Dragon, which is crazy. It's crazy how expensive this card is, by the way. 1 copy of Ib the World Chalice. It's a level 2. It's pretty much the best level that you can use here, because it does help you go into Ancient Fairy Dragon. 3 copies of Pot of Prosperity to keep it all together. And I guess, like, I don't know, you could like drop a copy of Pot of Prosperity or something and add another Water Enchantress. But 41 and 40 I don't think are very different in terms of numbers. Rite of Aramesir, 1 copy of Terraforming, 1 copy of World Legacy Secession, 1 set rotation, 1 Fateful Adventure, 3 copies of Ravine, 1 copy of Therion Coliseum, and then 3 copies of the Union Hangar. Onto the extra deck. 2 copies of ABC Dragon Buster, 1 copy of Baron, 1 copy of Borreload Savage Dragon. You do almost always have Gravity Control in your graveyard, and a lot of the times like an 8 Synchro does come up because Ancient Fairy Dragon is a level 7. Another level 7 that's worth going into Shooting Riser. It works really well with Revolution Synchron in any of the names because it does help you send another one to the graveyard if you need to. Also, being level 7 works pretty good. Also, this card's a tuner, by the way, so that's like the really good part. I talked about Ib, 1 copy of Crystal Wing Synchro Dragon. There will be times when you have Ancient Fairy Dragon, and then you can bring out Revolution Synchron, so that would fulfill the requirements for Crystal Wing Synchro, which is very good. You always want to like do something like good. You don't want to use this for like link material because it kind of feels like a waste. 1 copy of Gear Gigan X. It does search you the names, but more importantly, it searches you Revolution Synchron, which sometimes you can use to extend. 1 copy of Appaloosa. Almost always goes with IP Masquerena, although SP Little Knight is another target, right? When you use ABC Dragon Buster effect, you know, you're getting like 3 guys on the board. So if you can just do like a massive Appo, it's like really good in tandem. 1 copy of Cross Sheep. It's probably something you could just like drop, but yeah, if you do special summon Dragon Buster, you can't bring back a guy, and you can kind of use that for a few different plays. I mean, you can also use the Cross Sheep to go into Appo afterwards. Depends on the material, depends on the hand, but there is some interesting applications here because it does bring something back. 1 copy of Gravity Controller. This is part of the Ib line, and then access code. But again, that's kind of just like a random flex spot, to be honest. All right, let's go ahead and let's jump over to a couple of replays just to show you kind of in theory how it works. This is with the adventure engine. Seems like a very random hand, but it's not too bad. And like I said, I don't play the equip spell because I think it's just a little bit too bricky, especially in this deck where you have a lot of bricks already, kind of. But, you know, I can go ahead and make a level 7. I can add Griffin, which is a negate. It's also going to give me a level 7 body, which does come up. And then there we go. Like, now I have access, of course, to my Union Hangar lines. Go ahead and normal summon, go for the Union driver, turn that into the Torque, and then I can now make Ib. Kind of like a backwards way of doing this combo, but there's a lot of interesting things. You have to play this deck a lot to kind of really understand it. And this is where Gravity Controller comes in. I can go ahead and bring this back. The cool thing is about it, right, and that is what's so cool about World Legacy Succession. Like, normally it is used to go into Ancient Fairy Dragon, but I made it backwards this time, so this is where Cross Sheep, I guess, comes in, right? I can bring something back, go into, like, Borlitz, have his dragon, so it does have some application, depending on the hand. And it's always really cool. Like, another like great part is you want to get rid of the Gravity Controller. So this card lets you tribute a monster and then bring it back to the hand. So like you will like literally always be guaranteed to have something for your ABC Dragon Buster, which is cool, which is like kind of like unique and good. All right, let me show just some like a more regular combo. This is with a Union Hangar, like by itself. You don't have to do any like fancy tricks to get around it. This is like the whole purpose of the deck essentially. And then there we go, Torque, and go into Ib. Like, this is going to help you go into Ancient Fairy Dragon. Although it is a little bit weird, because I already have Disc Coliseum in my hand. Normally, it's like the card that you search. But I guess I can get a Ravine. We'll see what I end up using with it. Again, every hand's, like, pretty unique. There isn't, like, one set combo line for this deck. The cool thing about all of the Union monsters is they're non-once per turn to special summon themselves out. That's how you can pretty much abuse all these, like, insane combos. And I can search the last piece there. I can send a adventure, but yeah, I can't use it. But it is a level 4 now, so it does come up for Borlitz Savage Dragon, which is pretty funny. Then there we go. I can go into like IP Masquerena, ABC Dragon Buster. I could probably taken that a few different ways as well, but 2 Omni Negates. This is going to turn into Apo, and this is a, you know, Banishment, obviously. And I also, I guess, had Ash in my hand. But yeah, that's the pure ABC version of this Ib deck. Let me know what you guys think about this in the comment section down below. Other than that's going to do it for today's video, and I will see you guys next time.